Hi friends, welcome back to your practice. I am Katie Arnold, and today we are slowing our practice down. Now, I love slowing my practice down. This has been one of my favorite things to do lately, and today we're going to do just that. I'm going to take you through a great slow flow to dig into our hips to create a lot of space and opening in the hips, which is a space that we carry a lot of stress and tension. So we're gonna create the space, we're gonna let it go, and we're gonna move nice and slow, allowing things to get a little bit juicy at times, and I think you're gonna love it. So for this class, we are gonna get started in a child's pose. Bringing those big toes to touch, knees out wide, and then sink your seat down towards your heels. Palms forward and pressing into the mat, and forward, that forehead down onto the mat. Letting that belly rest between your thighs, not trying to hold it in, just letting it relax. Coming into your breath here, breathing in through the nose, and breathing back out through the nose. Continuing with this nose to nose breathing, your Ujjayi pranayama breath. Coming up onto your fingertips. Tenting those hands, walking those fingertips forward, feeling a nice stretch through the shoulders and the top of the back, that upper back area. Really coming into this active child's pose. And then pressing yourself up to a tabletop position, bringing those wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. A nice long spine here. And then inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze for cow pose. Exhale, belly button, spine, chin the chest for cat. Inhaling through cow, shining that heart forward. Exhale through cat, that spine arches, pulling up towards the ceiling. Taking 3 more rounds of this cat and cow with your breath. Adding any other movements that might feel nice here. Warming up that spine and just noticing how your body is feeling. One more round. Inhaling, coming back through center. And curling your toes under, sending your hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out those heels, bending one knee, bending the other. Walking out your downward facing dog and just noticing how this feels. And then finding some stillness. Letting your heels pull down towards the mat, your chest gently pressing back towards your thighs. And you might have a slight bend in those knees, maybe a big bend depending on how those hamstrings are feeling right now. Then inhale, coming up onto your toes. Exhale, slight bend in your knees and walk your feet up towards your hands. We'll find a forward fold at the top of our mat. Feet hips width distance, maybe a little bit wider. You might grab onto opposite elbows. Take a few gentle sways side to side. And let that head hang down. Don't worry about trying to hold it up right now. We do that all day, so just allowing yourself to be gentle, be slow. One more inhale breath. Exhale, release that bind. Heel toe those feet back to hips width distance. Press your hands into your shins. Inhale, taking a halfway lift. A nice long spine and flat back. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, standing all the way up, sweeping those arms up overhead. And exhale, bringing your hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge at those hips, fold forward. Inhale, taking a halfway lift. Exhale, bringing those fingertips to the mat. Step that left foot back. Keep that right foot forward. Finding a nice low lunge here. Lunging into that right knee. Letting that right knee track over that right ankle, but being really mindful. We don't want it to go past our toes here. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Plant that left foot so those left toes point towards the long edge of your mat. And then inhale, open those arms up, finding a warrior two. So our hips are open to the long edge of our mats. Our arms are at a T. And that gaze is at your front middle finger. You're still lunging into that right knee, that knee pointing straight ahead, that foot pointing straight ahead. Inhale, straighten that right leg, shift forward, reach forward. Exhale, move into a triangle pose. Let that right hand come down onto that right shin. That left arm reach up towards the ceiling. Opening that chest. And we have two flat feet, two straight legs. You might have a micro bend in that front right knee, so we're not locking anything out here. Letting that gaze either go straight ahead, maybe up towards that left hand if that feels good. Take another round of breath. Engage that core. Inhale, pull yourself up to standing. Both toes pointing to the long edge of your mat this time. Clasping those hands at your low back. Inhale, take a gentle puff of the chest. Maybe drop that head back. And exhale, hinging at your hips, fold forward. Taking a wide leg forward fold. Keeping this bind in the hands if that feels okay. If that doesn't feel good in your shoulders, bringing your hands down onto your hips or bringing them all the way down onto your mat. Taking 2 rounds of breath. Releasing any binds you may have taken, bringing those fingertips to the mat. Inhale, taking a halfway lift. Exhale to a low lunge at the front of your mat. Drop that left knee down. Keep that left hand down. Inhale to a nice twisting lunge. Right arm reaches up. Taking one more breath in. Exhale, bringing that right hand back down. Step that right foot back so we're in a tabletop position. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, sink your seat down to your child's pose. Slowly inhale up through that tabletop, bringing those shoulders past the wrist creases and finding a nice upward facing dog. Inhaling back through that tabletop and exhaling back down to your child's pose. We'll do that again. Inhale up through your tabletop, rounding that spine. And then exhale, dropping your hips, opening your chest forward to your up dog. Inhaling back through that tabletop. Exhaling back down to your child's pose. Inhaling up through tabletop. And then exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. And walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, taking a halfway lift. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, standing up tall, reaching those arms up. And exhale, bringing those hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift.
Exhale, fingertips to the mat. That right foot steps back this time. That left foot stays forward. We're starting in that low lunge with hands framing the left foot. Feeling a nice stretch in the front of that right hip. Taking one more breath in. And then planting that right heel, letting those right toes point to the side. And then inhale, opening up to your warrior two. So we're looking for a heel to arch alignment in those feet. Those left toes pointing straight ahead. Straighten that left leg, shift forward, reach forward. Exhale, finding that triangle pose. Think about stacking those shoulders. Think about reaching up through that right hand, not dumping all of our weight in that left side. Inhale, pulling yourself up to standing, both toes pointing to that long edge of your mat. Hands to your hips this time, and exhale, folding forward. Maybe bringing those hands down onto the mat. Bringing those fingertips down. Inhale, taking a halfway lift. Exhale to that low lunge at the front. Hands framing that left foot. Right knee drops down this time, and right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Finding that twisting low lunge. One more inhale breath. Exhale, bringing that left hand down. Stepping that left knee back and moving into your child's pose. Inhale, rounding that spine, coming up through tabletop, and then dropping those hips, moving into our upward facing dog or cobra pose. Inhaling back through tabletop. Exhaling back down through child's pose. Inhaling up through tabletop. Dropping those hips, finding that up dog. Inhaling back to your tabletop. And exhaling back down to your child's pose. Inhaling up to tabletop. Crossing those ankles, rolling onto one hip, swinging those legs around in front of you. Letting both legs go out long, flexing the toes back towards your face, set up nice and tall, reach those arms up tall, and exhale, just fold forward. Think about bringing your chest to your toes, and then rounding down. Inhale, sitting back up tall, plant those feet on the mat, and just roll all the way down onto your back, hugging those knees into your chest, taking a few gentle rocks side to side. And then coming into butterfly on your back, soles of your feet together, knees out wide. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, getting into those hips a little bit more here. Filling up your body with gratitude. Gratitude for all you were able to do today, for the space that you just created in your body, in your mind. When you're ready, moving into your Shavasana, letting your legs go out long, arms down by your side. Finding a few moments of stillness, letting yourself relax and find ease here. Knowing that I will take you out of this pose, so just letting yourself find stillness and find peace. And slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Bring some awareness back into the body. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me, for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste.
Hi friends, I'm just popping back in here real quick to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, like this video, comment below, and if there's something specific that you want to see, let me know that as well. Go find me on Instagram at I am Katie Arnold, and I would love to bring a class just for you.